Alright, so we're back talking some more NBA 2K16 MyGM and MyLEAGUE. If you guys have not seen my previous two videos, I went over a ton of information about these modes in those two videos, but there's just so much information that we got that I couldn't even fit it into those two. So I had to make this third one right here. So this is going to be the final of like a 3-video set talking about MyLEAGUE and MyGM, but I highly recommend you guys go check out those other two videos as well. In those, I went over MyLEAGUE Online, team relocation, the off-season, staff hiring, summer league, everything like that, everything up until this point. And in this video, we're going to be going over the ticker, SimCast Live, and some of the little things that they mentioned as well that didn't really fit into one of these broad categories. So we'll go ahead and jump right into it. Hopefully this video won't last nearly as long as the other two videos did, but starting things off right here with the ticker, and you guys can see the screenshot right here. We've got a shot of the new calendar screen. I think this looks really nice. You've got the social media tab right there on the side. Everything looks like it's kind of together and it's a nice user interface, but you can see at the bottom you have the ticker, and you might be thinking like, that's not really that big of a deal. It's just a ticker. You see it on ESPN. It's just something that'll just, scroll through and show you some stuff and you kind of ignore it. That is definitely not the case. It's easy to think that, but a ticker in MyLEAGUE and MyGM is very important. One of the main things that keeps you interested in these modes and keeps you immersed is being able to know what's going on around the league and not just on your team. If you're completely oblivious to what's going on with the other teams, you don't know what their records are, you don't know what players are doing well and what players are having down years, if you don't know about injuries, transactions, any of that stuff, you're missing out on a lot of stuff, and the ticker is going to help you out with that a lot. You're not going to have to go into a screen to see all this stuff. You can just see it scrolling across the bottom. So while you're doing whatever you want with your team and the different menus, you can see the scores from other games, you can see high scores, you can see stats, all that stuff on the ticker. And then once you get close to the All-Star break, it's going to start showing All-Star voting and players that are participating in the All-Star weekend events. And then once you get to the end of the season, you're going to start seeing like award races and playoff pictures. And then even when you get into the draft, you're going to have like a live feed down there on the ticker of the players that have been picked so far and what order and stuff like that. So it's something that seems like it's not a big deal, but I think it actually is going to be a feature that people are going to look back on and see that that was actually a very big improvement and something that adds a lot to the game. Now let's talk about SimCast Live. And if you guys know about SimCast from 2K15, basically what it is it's a coach mode, and you've got like an alternative between playing the game and actually just simulating it and not knowing anything about it, and all you can do is check the box score afterwards. So that's obviously a big time feature, because I know for me, I don't want to play every single game in a season, because you can't really do that and make it through multiple seasons unless you literally play constantly and that's all you play. So it's very important to have SimCast in the game, but SimCast Live is going to take that to a new level. So you guys can see in the screenshot, you've got a live graphic right here of the court, and you have the players on the floor, and those players right there, the chips actually move around, so you can see what's going on. And basically what you're supposed to do is adjust substitutions, call plays, all types of that stuff. But the biggest thing about this, in my opinion, is the ability to jump in and out of games. So you can do this on the fly, and I was so excited when I saw this, because it adds a lot and it gives you the ability to jump in at critical times whenever you want to play. So you can start the game off in SimCast, simulate a little while, jump straight into the game and start playing it without having to go through a loading screen or anything like that. Then you can actually play it for a while and then jump straight back out into SimCast and simulate however long, and you can just jump back in and out whenever you want to. So that's a huge feature. I'll probably be doing that for every single game that I don't want to play fully, because that just gives you the ability to essentially play every single game but not have to play every minute of every game. So if you're feeling like you want to simulate, you can go into SimCast, simulate till the last few minutes, and you notice, oh wow, this is actually kind of a close game. You can just jump straight back in and you can play the end of that game. So that's huge in my opinion, and I'm very excited to hear that. The last section of this blog post is titled The Little Things, but don't let that name fool you because there is some crazy awesome stuff buried within this, and I highly recommend you guys go read this for yourself because I'm not going to go in depth on all these little things because that would take a really long time. So go click the link at the top of the description and go read this blog post for yourself. But we'll go ahead and jump into it. 3 team trades are back in the game, which is really nice to have. You can now have the ability to turn autosave off in MyLeague and save different copies of your MyLeague from different points, so that's nice to have if you're into that type of stuff. Players can now have multiple injuries at one time, so somebody could have a strained back and a sprained ankle at the exact same time, so that adds realism to it as well. You have more MyLeague customization sliders such as salary cap value, salary cap inflation rate, injury severity, injury duration, player regression rate, and more. So I really like that player regression rate slider. I think that's really cool. But I think the most important one right here out of those listed, and there's more of them as well, is the salary cap inflation rate. Because as you guys know, next year in the NBA, the salary cap is going to jump a lot. So you're seeing all these guys this offseason sign these monster deals that seem way out of their range. But really, next offseason when the salary cap jumps, those will be, on a better scale. So they'll still be lower tier players. Guys will just be making a lot more money. So you can actually set that inflation rate now to ensure that the contracts stay realistic throughout. The 2016 offseason, with that salary cap jump, will already be in the game. So it's already taken account for. You won't have to worry about that either. You have MyLeague automation. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, I know for a fact you've seen me talk about this a lot. This was literally the number one thing that I wanted in NBA 2K16 was the ability to control all 30 teams and set automated tasks individually for every single team. So just to better explain it and better explain the reason why I wanted this so badly, and I'm so happy that it's in the game. So basically what I do when I play MyLeague, and the way that I think everybody should play it because it really gives you the most control and keeps things the most realistic, and you can just pretty much make the mode however you want it, is go in and pick a team that you're going to play with. But when you choose your team, choose to control every single team in the NBA. So you have control of all 30 teams. But then when you go into this automation, system that they have now, you can just pick your team that you want to choose. Say you want to play as the 76ers. You can set everything for the 76ers as manual. So you're controlling that team. But for all the other 29 teams that you have control of, you can set all of their tasks as automated. So the computer will handle everything else for all the other teams. So it's essentially like you're playing as just that one team, but you've got the ability to go in and change something about another team if you feel something needs to be changed. And the thing I'm most excited about this is being able to manually control who signs where in the off season, because this was the biggest flaw with MyLeague in my opinion this past year, and it really killed the mode for me because you'd go into the off season and guys would just sign in unrealistic places. I can guarantee you in 2K16, if you're using this league automation correctly, LeBron will never take his talents to Salt Lake City again. I can guarantee you that, and I know he won't in my leagues. But that's a great thing to have because you can set it up. You can say, okay, well, this guy's considering the Lakers, the Suns, the Spurs, and the Jazz, and then you could just have those 4 teams and you could pick the best situation and the most likely situation that you think he would choose, instead of just having like LaMarcus Aldridge sign with the Sixers or have Marc Gasol go and sign with the Magic. You know what I mean? Like, that really kills the mode and kills the realism. So with this feature in MyLeague, you're going to be able to keep things as realistic as you want to. So I'm super happy about that. You now have the ability to player lock, so you can play as one player on a team throughout MyGM and MyLeague. You have setup slider sharing for MyLeague, so all those MyLeague sliders, you can share that with the community. You can share gameplay sliders, and you can share training sliders for your MyGM and MyLeague, how your players train and stuff. So that's really cool, and the ability to share stuff like that really makes me think that the 2K share system is going to be a lot better than it has been. Hopefully there's a description box that you can put on draft classes, rosters, and all this stuff. Hopefully you can share creative players with people. I think that would be huge, but we'll have to wait and see on that, but that is what I'm hoping for. And being able to share all these sliders is definitely a good sign. You now have long-term owner goals, so an owner might give you a goal that's like, it extends beyond this just one season. You might have a goal that says win a championship within the next 5 years, so that's pretty nice. You now have customizable progression and regression, and this is really cool. So you can basically set the prime of a player. So we'll take Jahlil Okafor, for example. Say you set his peak start age at 28 years old. So by the time he's 28, he's not going to get any better. Once he hits 28 years old, he's not getting any better than he is at that point. But then you can set his peak in. So say you want him to start getting worse at 35. So between 28 and 35 is going to be his prime. That's when he's going to be at his best. And then once he hits 35, his ratings are going to start going downhill. So you can set this for every single player, which is great. This is going to add an entirely new, realm of customization, which I think is going to add a ton of realism. And I'm super pumped that's in the game. I think that's a great idea. We have a bunch of new stats. You have an all-new landing menu and calendar system that we saw a screenshot of. And as I said earlier, the NBA offseason where the salary cap will inflate, that is already in the game. So that is pretty much it for all of this information that we got about NBA 2K16 MyGM and MyLEAGUE. I'm so excited for the mode. There was so much information. I can't wait to start playing it. And the thing that's crazy is this information just seems like so insane, and 2K hasn't even gotten to like the crazy stuff, like the like my team and my career and all that stuff. They haven't even revealed that. I mean, these modes are essentially a game in itself, which just completely blows my mind. So I'm super excited for 2K16 this year. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.